Hello, Key Biscayne. It is Monday, September 2nd, 2019. Happy Labor Day. This is the No One's Listening Show, episode 159. I am here with the raucous crew. I'm your host, Rafa. To my left is Anna.
Hi, Key Biscayne. Hello.
To her left is Manny.
Hello, everybody.
And to his left is Lenny.
Hey, guys.
And we got a bit of a peanut gallery out on the balcony tonight, and they might come in. It's Andy and Tom, so if they show up, now you know who they are.
And actually, they're on display in a cage. It looks like they're in a cage right now. They're out in the balcony. The door's closed, so they're out there making all kinds of fun.
And hopefully they don't come in. Let's keep
wait
them
and see.
caged.
I'm nervous.
Tom told me.
Guys, lock the door. Lock the door.
Tom told me at least 10 times, don't ask me any questions. Don't ask me any questions. I said, okay.
Okay.
And so, he just kept telling me, don't ask me any questions. I said, okay.
Well, because, it's Hurricane Little Drunk Fest, so, I agree with that. So please respect his wishes.
I got you.
Lock the door.
Sounds perfect. All right, let's start how we always start. It's called Weekend Talk.
Oh, Lord.
Last weekend, I hope, because this weekend we'll talk about it in a little bit with the hurricane and all that stuff. But, actually, you know what I'm going to ask about, Manny? I'm going to ask about that Rolling Stones concert.
Hell yeah.
That fits into Weekend Talk for sure. That started on April 20th, actually. Not April 20th, more like December, when we got tickets for the April 20th show.
Right.
As Mick had a heart procedure in early April. He wasn't able to open the last leg of the World Tour, which was the U.S. tour. The last leg was the U.S. tour. It was going to open in Miami on April 20th. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do Jazz Fest either, which was big news.
I know. That was a huge thing for me, remember?
Yeah, that was painful for you.
Yes.
I think, who'd they get instead? Like Air
Nobody.
Supply?
It was horrible. Anyway, move on. Don't upset me, Manny.
All right. Anyway, the show was rescheduled for the end of the U.S. tour, which was last leg of the World tour. And it's cool because you never know if it's the last time you'll see the Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that for the last 15 years you've said that, but...
Well... Like I've always said, they're no spring chickens.
Could already...
Rafa.
Could always be true, for sure. So it was set for August 31st. That was Saturday, and everyone was excited about it. But then we had this storm coming in, and so there was question marks. And then it became it's like, they're going to cross paths. And, the Crossfire Hurricane was all written in the stars.
You know what? And it was probably epic, wasn't it?
Well, they had to cancel the August 31st show, as you know, and they rescheduled it for August 30th, which was the night before. So it was 60,000 people in the stadium.
I love it.
Everybody had a million things to do.
Yeah.
But
they still made it out.
But everyone made it out, and it was really, really rock and roll. Everyone with their black T-shirts and cut-off shorts and very rock, like 80s rock.
That's awesome.
And we went with a great group. We hired a car to take us there and wait. And it was a car for 6. We had 8 going up, so we added a couple people. And we get down there on the floor to our seats, and we had really nice seats, which were on the aisle at the end of the extension. There's like a big extension, like in the middle, right? Phalanx, coming right out of on the floor, and the band does a little set out there, and Mick runs up and down that runway all the time. And we're down there, and we got there early. We're making friends with all the security guards. We're feeling it out, getting ready for a great night. And someone in our group, she gets very emotional. You know Anna Felpetto.
Yeah, of course.
She gets to the point where she's so emotional, she starts crying. She can't believe that she's there. Not only is she there, she's there with her 2 daughters, which are
I saw that. That's
two
so
beautiful
sweet.
10 and 12-year-old rock stars.
That's so
They know
awesome.
every Grateful Dead and every Rolling Stones song.
That's
they know
awesome.
them.
Amazing.
And Anna gets emotional down there, and all of a sudden it just starts, like with her tears, it starts raining. and everyone goes to put on their jackets, but she doesn't, and she just takes the rain. And one of the, like the roadies or the manager guys, came up to her after. He was so moved by her emotion that he said, let me have your wrist. And she gives the wrist.
I saw the golden something.
He puts the golden bracelet on her.
I saw it. I didn't know what that was.
And what does that mean? To go backstage?
No, in these VIP Worlds Now concerts, there's 10 different bracelets.
Yeah.
Right.
Different levels of where you get. She got the golden bracelet.
That's
which
awesome.
Was basically a little cordoned off section with its own security guard right up on the stage.
That's amazing.
Cordoned off.
With her kids?
No, not with her kids.
Just her?
By
Just
kids.
her and like 29 other
That's
models.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Go, Anna.
Yeah.
Go.
So Anna rocked it out.
That's
Shout out. Sorry, Anna. I hope
awesome.
I'm not embarrassing you, but you.
No, that's
you
a pretty cool story.
Way
That's
to
a pretty
go,
cool story.
Anna.
You put it on Facebook, so it's fair game. So
No, I
That
saw the
is
bracelet. I saw it. That's
so
awesome.
good. I
Very,
love that.
very
and then the
cool.
concert was amazing. They played, a 2-hour set, and Mick told all kinds of, Miami stories. We shared a bunch of stuff up.
That's so
And
cool.
one of his stories was, he was out and he's like saw some iguanas. I don't know if we're going to talk about the iguanas later.
I don't know what you're
Mick
talking
made a
about.
comment about that. And I posted that. And then at the end of the show, they bring out they do their encore, and it's "Gimme Shelter," and the storm is
pouring.
threatening, and all of a sudden the skies just open up, and it goes from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Like the rain just.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
And it
honestly.
rained for 2 songs of the encore.
That's awesome.
And then the lights go on. It's still pouring. We're on the opposite end of the exit on the floor. We're
Yeah.
literally 120 yards away, And you're not going anywhere at that
Yeah.
point. You're
No.
just out there getting wet. And people
Yeah,
are
of
running
course.
around. Look like...
I feel like the
I
rain made it
love
better,
it.
man.
Of
It's
course
like the
it does.
storm is coming. You're fucking dancing. You're
Yeah.
having the best time.
Only the people on
in
the floor
rain.
got wet because the new stadium has a cover over
Everything else.
most of the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's just
Gotcha.
the field
You
that's
know what?
exposed.
And that rain, it makes you feel young and awesome. You know what? It does. I was stuck in a rainstorm recently, and we were stuck, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
Take
awesome.
it in. Just enjoy. Feel the. I don't know.
Feel the
I don't know.
rain.
I
And
felt
it was great
I
because-
felt like I was like 1,000 years younger when I got rained on.
Well, everyone out there,
rejuvenated.
the
It's
average age out there was, maybe in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And so that means it was older and younger too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter when you get, when you get hit by the rain, it's like the great equalizer for everybody.
Yeah,
Major
hell
FOMO,
yeah.
Manny. I wish I was there. Shit.
I think it's
I
awesome
know.
that they were smart enough to reschedule the show for the day before. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going to cancel this one. We're going to do it on Friday. Everybody can still go.
Well,
and,
just in
and make
case.
it happen,
It's a great
Only
idea.
one person couldn't make it. Well, a bunch of people I'm sure couldn't make it. The tickets dropped the price. They were already times 2, times 3
Yeah.
inflated, but then they
Okay.
got down to kind of normal or regular. But Juanes couldn't make it. The opener.
Who's that?
Juanes
What?
was going to be the opener.
Whatever.
Who's that person? What?
And he
What are you
could
talking
make
about?
it. He had a thing on Friday, which was okay because
Because you're there to see the Stones.
Yeah.
No one cares
That's
about-
why it's okay.
Listen, at the end of the day, no one cares about Juanes. Love you,
No.
Juanes, but no one cares. Like, Rolling Stones or Juanes?
I mean,
Rolling Stones.
I didn't know if I was going to be there. I knew that he would start at 7:30 and he'd end at 8:30. But it's a tough gig to open for the Stones.
Yeah.
It's a tough
Yeah.
gig.
So who opened? No one. Or
But
no?
that's
Nobody. Yeah.
By the way,
That's
that was
awesome.
a
That's even
weird
better.
opener for the Rolling Stones. Juanes?
Right?
That's
Well, it
so
was, no,
bizarre.
I thought it was cool.
Sorry.
It was very Miami.
No.
Miami rock.
I agree with
Nope,
Lenny. That's
sorry.
weird. It's a
not rock
different
and roll.
demographic.
Sorry, I thought it was weird.
Well, maybe they thought that too. So that was. And then on the
They
way
canceled
back,
it.
we picked up another rider, Caro Arellano. She lives on the Key.
I love Caro.
Caro's
Good
awesome.
friend of mine.
Shout out to Caro. Congratulations, Caro, on the great news.
What's the news? She's
Oh.
getting married or pregnant? What?
Sorry.
What? Having 100 babies?
I shouldn't have
what?
said anything. Sorry about that. You mentioned it out loud, so I'll just stop right now.
Is she
Stop.
getting married? You're getting married with Brad?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say
I'm
that.
so excited. I hope it's true because they're a good couple.
What'd you do, Anna?
This weekend?
No, last weekend.
I don't-
Or
I don't
actually, we have a
remember
good
last
story
weekend.
from this weekend.
We do?
Yeah, the Johnny story.
Oh, we got Jonathan Griffinstein off the key.
Yeah, which is huge. I don't know if
We
you
got
guys-
him off the key on Friday night.
On his boat?
Good. Good one.
No, Johnny has, love the guy to death. He can't even show up to the show anymore because it's not the yacht club. Finally on Friday, I told him, "Hey, I'm taking you out, and we're gonna go somewhere." And we had all these plans
we had so many plans.
to go see all these bands and stuff like that. They all didn't pan out, but
We were late to each one. That's
we
why.
got Grifties out of the house, and we had a nice night.
What a
going
nice night.
from,
Took him to Happy's, to
yeah.
a dive bar. Oh, who knows how.
But we took them first to Sweat Records to see this band, and then they finished as soon as we walked in. Oh, and funny story.
Oh, we ended
Wait,
up at
what?
Churchill's with
What'd you
Jonathan.
just say?
We went to Sweat Records.
And someone fainted?
No, to
Oh,
see a
okay.
band, and they finished
They finished.
as soon as we walked
Okay,
in.
got it. Thank you.
But what's funny is we bring Griff inside. The first thing he does is ask the people in the record store if they have any beer. They're like, nah, they have some at Churchill's right next door because it's literally.
So he left us.
So he left us like instantly to go get a beer.
Didn't even wait.
Yeah, didn't even wait. The band finished right there, and
And then we had to go find him at Churchill's.
Yeah, and then we went to pick him up. And then we took him to another record store where there was another band, another DJ we were supposed to see. And as we're pulling up, he's walking out the door
with
We're
his,
like,
with his
nah.
vinyl.
So I went to the bar, and Griff had a great time at this bar that was unfamiliar to him but very comfortable. And
a good night.
then Bobby showed up
On
out of nowhere.
79th Street.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Up
and
north.
And then we ended up at Flanagan's, which I would never go to anymore, but these guys love it. So
Wait, Flanagan's in Coconut Grove?
yeah, because
Yeah,
we had to drop
at,
Bobby
like,
off.
1 in the morning.
So we
From
dropped
79th Street to Flanagan's?
Yeah.
We went to eat nachos and rib rolls
Yeah.
at 1 in the
And, like,
morning.
Oh.
yeah. And
No
it
wonder
actually-
I feel super bloated this effing hurricane. I've been
Yeah,
started off with that.
Hurricane Doreen
When it
eating.
hasn't stopped.
I know.
So anyway,
My weekend was not as eventful as you assholes. I went.
Wow, honey.
No, because I have major FOMO. Sorry for the bad word for the people who are sensitive.
It's nothing new.
Sorry, baby. I went and moved my daughter to her apartment in Boston, which was great and awesome. We
Ooh.
bonded.
Yay.
And by the way, her apartment's way nicer than my apartment. I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. Like, she's got it freaking made. She's 19 years old, and she has a washer and dryer without having to put coins in.
That's amazing.
I mean, I don't. You guys are young. Rafa, do you have to put coins in when you?
no, luckily I don't,
No,
but it's not in the apartment.
Manny, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't use coins either.
Back in the day, shut up.
I had
Oh, no,
I had
yeah,
many
no, that's
apartments
a
that had to use
luxury.
coins.
Yeah, that's a
She has.
luxury.
Her place is beautiful.
Listen,
And she has
coins is a
sunset.
luxury. It means there's a machine in your building because I've lived places where there's not even a machine
She
in
has
the
an
building.
indoor pool and an indoor
pool?
gym, and her
What?
view is on sunset in the Charles River. Like, honestly,
She on Com Ave?
I mean, that's on you though, right?
I was gonna say that's not you.
she's on Washington. She's in a Chinatown Theater District in Boston. Super nice. place.
Should have put her in a more ratted place.
Well, Tom accepted and he said yes. I would have said no. Because you know what? She
But
needs
now
to-
you have a place to visit and hang out.
I agree, but she needs to suffer a little more.
I
That's
know.
my point. Like, but Tom said yes.
Too late now, Lenny.
I know, man. Ugh.
and next year you do a downgrade.
No,
She's like,
I
no,
already
you
told her,
gave
like,
me
what-
the washer dryer already.
Yeah. Well, Tom, no. Well, I go, you're not moving for 3 years because I'm not moving your crap out of that place.
That's funny.
So, but Tom and I have 3 places to stay for the next 3 years. So
Good.
we're coming end of October.
Already?
You're welcome.
So wait, you signed a 4-year lease?
No, it's her. She's on her second year, so 3 years.
So you get
We did it. We did it
That's
year
where
by
she was last
It's
year
year
too?
by year.
No, she was
No,
in a
it-
dorm last year, but that we're. Oh, she's
You're not going to do the
moving.
move again, you know?
I'm not making
Just
her
say,
move.
like, yeah.
Listen, her place is so.
Hopefully. I mean, I know usually in college you go
Well,
year to
I'm-
year on places.
Okay, so with that said, I'm not moving.
No,
her.
it's good
How about
news. There you
that?
go.
She can get some
I
dude
moved
and
in
move the
college.
place. I'm
I
done.
moved every year in college.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it. She can find the other person and figure it out. Other than that, it's awesome. It was beautiful. I had a good time.
Nice.
I almost stayed till Wednesday until the track of the hurricane moved. I don't know. Friday evening at 11. It said it wasn't going to hit. I was like, I'll be home Saturday.
I'll be
evening. So I came home.
All
That was my weekend. Boring but fun. Not like you guys though. Manny's was.
Manny wins.
Yeah, Manny wins the weekend.
Oh, you know what I did do this weekend? Is that we have this friend, Clau. She's a cousin of many of our friends. And she's a friend also. And she lives in the building in front of mine. Or she has an apartment building in front of mine. She comes once in a while. And whenever she comes, we have the best time because she has such a good vibe. And friends don't do this anymore. Our friends don't do this anymore. Where you pack the apartment, just let it get messy, drink and be silly and dumb
it.
and like sit in the kitchen. We played a game where we were stacking like whatever was on the table, like cans of Perrier with a bottle of whatever. and
Ooh, it was like
potato
Jenga?
chip. It
Yeah.
was like Jenga.
Jenga with real life
But it all
stuff.
started on the bottom. It was
I
a
like
shot
it.
glass full. So if you were the person who dropped it, which was like everybody every turn,
I love it.
You drank the shot, and we had and just like laughing.
That's a good
we
idea.
never do that. It took Cloud to come to town to do that.
That's a fun game because I like
It was a
doing
really
stuff
fun
like
game.
that.
It was a really fun game. It was just dumb and funny. We sang songs. We played music. Like the whole thing was fun. So whatever. Thanks to Cloud for that.
Thanks, Lau.
She's a friend of the
A
show.
new game for me.
Yes, a new game. Drunk Jenga.
Or
But with
5,000.
materials that you find around the house.
So moving on, I want to bring back.
really?
I thought you had fun that night.
So this is kind of weekend talk. I did have a great time that night. I just want to I want to bring something back that I think I was going to do this last show. I'm not sure.
Sorry.
And I know Manny can take it, but it's kind of a ragging on Manny moment for me.
Oh, awesome. Hang on.
Oh, wait, is it Attack Manny night? I'm ready.
No, it's just
We're down.
it's just fun. It's all good fun.
Okay.
So the other day, I don't know if it happened before the last show or between then and now, but it doesn't matter. I'm walking down the street. I'm going to the supermarket and catch Manny, and he's riding his bike. And we stop and chat and whatever. And then he asked me at the last moment, hey, where's your bag? Like to go to the supermarket.
Oh.
And I'm like,
you.
Shame.
how dare you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought in my head. Like, did he really ask me that? And then I had to justify it that every garbage can in my apartment uses the plastic bags from Winn-Dixie.
Right.
You know, that's what I use as my garbage bags. That's what I do as a thing. I probably generate. I may throw out one bag of garbage every 2 weeks since I've been living here. So of those little Winn-Dixie
That's
bags,
it?
I don't use any. I've noticed that I make
Wow,
no garbage.
Rafa.
I don't generate garbage. Right.
I'm
I
proud
don't
of
buy
you.
things packaged. I don't do I generate very little garbage. I recycle too. I have like a separate recycling.
Nice.
So I was
Good
like,
for you. That's awesome.
this guy.
Yeah, Manny.
Do you know that
Manny.
he's a beach ambassador? August 28th was his big beach ambassador
I
day.
didn't know
I'm not a
that.
beach ambassador.
I
Beach
missed
ambassador
it.
birthday?
I'm not an anything ambassador.
I missed
I'm
that.
generating no waste out here. But then,
And?
yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. I'm driving down the street, catch Manny driving the golf cart. He's going to like the park or Island Drive or something like that.
What, like plastic was falling off the golf cart?
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
He threw trash on the
I'm
floor when he's
excited. I'm
driving.
excited.
He's
He's
like,
riding. He's riding around like this with the phone in his hand.
man.
And I'm
Oh.
thinking to myself, "This is the guy who called me. This is the beach
Manny's gonna
ambassador."
punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Careful.
Love it.
So anyway,
Let's hear it, Manny. Rebuttal.
Beach ambassador.
I mean,
I love it.
Rafa, I was super, super impressed by the fact that Rafa, even though he didn't have a bag to go to the store, which is no big deal, you can carry stuff for all you know.
Yeah,
he
a
was
lot of
able
times I do. I
He
use
was
no
buying
bag.
one thing,
Maybe he was going there to
condoms.
buy one thing, a box of, okay. So, but what I was happy to do it was to learn that he actually doesn't produce waste. He uses those bags for his and like he goes, do you use those bags for your?
Oh, he said something while he mentioned.
told me. I said, no,
he
I
didn't
don't.
like
That's
just let it go.
Oh, man.
I rode away, and I totally tipped my cap to you, Rafa. So.
And Rafa was walking, hence not putting.
By the
not
way-
using gas, not putting. I don't know.
I don't know where I was going with that. I just
But-
wanted to call Manny out because I'm a dick.
By the way,
I mean, really, I hate to disappoint you, but you're not calling me out. I'm
so by the way,
honored that
He
I
was
was able to
changing
learn
songs.
something from, and I went home that day and I said, maybe I can use those Winn-Dixie. I can start using Winn-Dixie bags again, so I can put them instead of the plastic bags. Or what can I use instead of any plastic?
Right, exactly.
And for my recycling, I don't use anything. I just put it in the big container that's the garbage can. I have two of them. They slide out. The super, you just dry them and put them in there. And go right to the, and but I do use plastic liners for my garbage can.
Well,
There you go.
honestly, they're ugly, and if I didn't have such a small kitchen and a small kitchen trash can, it wouldn't make any sense.
And you're
But
only
I do.
one
I
person
always
too,
use-
Rafa, because when you have
Yeah.
more people, it's a little
Yeah.
more.
Of course.
By the
I
way,
always use the
in
small ones for my
Boston,
bathrooms.
in Boston, I noticed when I was moving Lauren, anytime you go anywhere like CVS, wherever, grocery store, if you don't bring a bag, they charge you for every bag.
Yeah.
I'm super for that stuff.
They're
Even
like,
though it would cost me
they're
a
like
bunch
10
because,
cents. I'm like, Lauren,
because I reuse
Bring
all of
your
them.
bag.
But
Bring your
it would
bag.
cost me a fortune, but I would still for the.
it's a way of learning. Like all of a sudden, like I was there 4 days. By the fourth day, I freaking got
Exactly,
it, and I went to
exactly.
CVS. I went to CVS with a bag.
One thing I did notice on this particular weekend, because you're in the store so many times, and with the pending storm, people buying the big cases of single-use plastic
Oh
water.
my god!
Oh my god, I hate
there,
that.
and on many occasions, and I want to hear you guys also what your experience was. If you were at the stores and you would see people, and you would kind of see people were a little bit, some people were like, "Fuck it, I don't care, I'm doing it," and some people were like, "Yeah,
Shameful.
maybe." And I didn't really say anything to anybody, but I realized how many. I mean, I was doing that the last time that there was a hurricane, I went to the store and I bought,
Really?
the big, not the small ones, but the big ones.
Yeah.
Figuring that I would, be less.
Yeah.
But even in the storms before that, I was buying how many
What
cases
I
of
don't
water
get,
can
it's
you
like,
get?
I
You
just
know?
don't understand because it's like I went to the supermarket on Thursday just because I didn't have food anyway. It was complete chaos on Thursday already, and people buying this water. Why are people not just filling up the jugs they have in the house, jars,
exactly-
whatever, vases? I don't care.
That's what they need
the
to be
storm is
doing.
like 4 days away. You still have
They say
running
they don't
water.
have enough. You need like a gallon per day per
Man,
person.
there's always stuff in your house you can fill
Okay,
up.
so man, oh, sorry, God, sorry, did I just knock the speaker down? I think there's ways to get around that. I think you can fill up a lot of Tupperware, and I think even like in Tom's office, he has those like jugs that are empty that they like return and stuff.
5 gallon.
I'm
ones,
like, I wasn't here, so I said, Tom, fill up those things with water.
Yeah.
Just have them there in your office, in the house. Just fill them up. And he's like, you're right.
I
And
got
if
one
you're
of
going
those,
to buy water, buy
we
a
didn't buy-
massive
we didn't buy
what
one
is it? How
thing.
many gallons? Why are you buying 5-gallon jugs? Why are you buying plastic bottles? That doesn't make sense.
Because
Not
they
the
probably
one and
sell
done.
they sell out
Okay,
of those,
fine.
right? So people are getting like Perrier, Case of Perrier.
Well, if I'm doing Perrier, you get bottled Perrier. If
I
you're
do
gonna that.
that 40-gallon cooler that's on wheels,
Glass bottle.
the big blue one. I bring that up and I put it in my shower. I fill it with water.
Yeah.
And so it's full of water. So, in the event that there is no water, you can at least go in and freshen up and wash up.
Or go to the bathroom and
out of
flush a
that.
toilet.
Exactly.
Or it's like a great little stool now in my shower. I think I'm going to keep it there. I don't know.
I love it. There's ways around it, guys. Don't
There really
don't go out and buy like 500 little one-shot water
No, but the fact
bottles
that
with the
where
caps.
people are feeling a little uncomfortable about it is good.
It's good. I
Shift in
agree.
consciousness, yeah.
I agree.
So, Rafa, I didn't mean to shame you, but thanks for shaming me on the texting and driving.
No texting and driving.
I wasn't.
Manny.
I pull over always. I always pull over, and I do it there. So,
No,
He
he
was
saw me. He
changing
put the
songs.
phone down. He was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
yeah.
Love it.
No,
If you ever see me on the phone, I'm Shazamming a song.
But like you guys say,
Which happens all the
you
time.
can always. There's so much stuff in your house that you can fill up. I mean, you can fill up
Cups.
plastic
Tupperware.
Ziploc
anything.
bags and put them in the freezer, and then
Yes.
keep your fridge going, like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I did that. I filled those in, but then again, I'm using Ziploc bags, which is
They could
the
reuse them
best, but-
after.
Yeah, but you can use them again
I
because they're
can use them
water.
again.
Because it's just water.
I haven't
in
bought
them.
a
Water
Ziploc
turn into
bag
water.
in
There's a
many
lot of
years.
options. There's a lot of ways to deal.
No, I mean, if you absolutely must, obviously, we don't know exactly why
You
people
must.
are buying whatever they're buying, but just keep thinking about it and whatever. Okay, let's move on to the next segment of the show.
What?
What are you guys listening to?
Oh.
Yay.
I got a good one.
I got
mean-
one, and I feel like I should be last, by the way.
You guys aren't gonna love it, but I'll tell you the story of this thing. This band, it's called Surface to Air Missive, and the album's called AV from 2016. And it's a band, and they do a lot of stuff, but this particular record was based on the idea of using a recorder that the guy knew how to play very well as a general theme to the thing. So the recorder's kind of always in all the songs, the old school recorder that you got in school. And it's just like, oh no, I just screwed my cue. Okay,
No.
wait. But anyway, long story short, it's a cool little band. It's like a folky, modern sound, and this is what it sounds like. The song is called I Call Me Us.
Nobody cares like me, cares like me, cares like me.
I like it.
It's got like a grungy feel.
Yeah, it's
and
very
you can-
grungy.
The recorder's out in the background. It's just a good album. Surface to Air Missive. Look it
I
up.
like it. Should we just go in a circle?
Sure.
Mine.
Oh,
That's
DQ.
so whack. Oh no, it's still there. Mine. I was listening to it today, and this is my mood. Erasmo Carlos.
É preciso dar jeito, meu amigo. É preciso dar jeito.
1971 from, I would like to say a self-titled album, although it's Carlos, Erasmo, so it's kind of funny. And this song is called É Preciso Dar Jeito, Meu Amigo, or whatever. It's a good song.
Look it up. Carlos
Erasmo Carlos.
Erasmo Carlos.
The album is Carlos, Erasmo.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. I'd definitely go with the Stones song, and this is like the. What else?
Theme.
One of the most iconic and recognizable intros. Give Me
I would say
Shelter
so.
off of Let It Bleed. It's a Jagger Richards collab, produced by Jimmy Miller, who I actually met him one time.
That's one of my favorite
Give Me
Stones.
Shelter off of Let It Bleed.
That's one of my
Awesome.
favorite Stones songs ever.
So I will say, and I'll talk over it just so that it'll cut us off, that I used to Lou Lamar
Yeah.
used to love playing that song. I mean, I'm sure he still does, but I would sing it with him and Deba, which is like Andy's cousin. And
she's
it was
a
just
great
so
singer.
much fun to get to the end and just go forever on the end, you know,
'cause it's-
just like
it's a
drag it out
long
forever.
song.
It's so great. It's so
He had
such a
the
fucking-
you know the female, the singer, the background singer on that, you know, Ray
yeah, exactly.
So good.
She came out on that extension of the stage with him. We were right there.
Oh, that's
it
awesome.
was pouring rain, pouring. You know, it was
That's
incredible
cool.
moment.
Awesome.
I like that.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. And by the way,
Way to sell it, man.
by the way, I didn't come in here with a song, but I came up with one last minute.
It's going to be great.
So my last minute one is, so if anyone was around the week before for the Gator game, did very well. I mean, I feel like they didn't win, but they held their own. And with that said, we were going through a hurricane. So I'm going to play a song from 1984, 5, 6. Manny, it's your generation, so tell me what year it was. But anyway, this is my song.
Is it Red Skies at Night?
Scorpions, baby. Everyone knows this song. Rock Me Like a Hurricane. You guys in the Bahamas, I'm sorry about you guys. I feel you guys.
Very poignant with the UM game and this weekend.
So I just brought it together pictures. Anyway, I pulled that out of my ass, so enjoy. Sorry, I said another bad word. For the sensitive people out there, I apologize. Scorpions, Rock Me Like a Hurricane.
It's a good one.
Yeah, right? It's a good song. Especially like,
fun.
you know,
Hilarious.
right? Right? Do you like, that's Rafa's favorite song ever. So anyway,
It's his theme song.
that was my, no, it's not.
All right.
So you guys were all sensitive, good songs. I just pulled that one out of my butt. Sorry.
Rafa, where were you in '84?
I wasn't born.
I was born already.
Were you like
I
one?
I
was
was
like
still
2.
I was still in Bilbao.
I was not born.
Yeah.
Love you
But
guys.
Scorpions made it over there, so don't
So
worry.
Rafa was listening to it
Because
too.
Scorpions were like German, weren't they?
I have no idea.
I never really got into that. The
Nobody
Scorpions
I'm
or-
curious.
But they were. I'm pretty sure Scorpions were European.
Probably. I would probably say so. They seem very European. Look it up. I should know this.
German
This is
rock
my
band.
song.
German
So it's
rock
my song.
band. Are they?
Thank you,
German
Anna.
rock band formed in 1965
Thank you, Anna, for
in Hanover.
making my song cool.
There you
It's
go.
cool. It's very cool.
All right, that was my song because I didn't have a song.
All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about what's happening in town.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Do you want to talk about the hurricane?
There's a
first
lot.
or last?
There's a lot about that's happening in
yeah.
town. But the hurricane's from hurricane.
Okay.
There's other stuff.
Okay, I'll tell
Okay,
you something that's funny.
Here's an update on the hurricane. It's not going to hit us on the key. You can cancel your reservations.
Yeah, it's still at 1 mile per hour.
What else?
Like
What else you got?
doing
I
nothing.
think it's right now. It's stationary. I don't think it's even
The
moving in 1 month.
NHC report, like everything, they always say what direction it's going.
It's finally going northwest.
It said that earlier,
Just now.
but at the 5 o'clock one, it said stationary.
No, I saw
which
that.
I never have seen.
I know.
Which is crazy.
It's awful. And
It's
I
crazy for
laugh,
them.
but it's awful. I feel really bad for the Bahamians, honestly. That's a big deal.
Okay, so the other day on the key, they locked down the school. Active shooter announcement, code red.
Code red.
You remember I had just gone to pick up my son at school, and I'm at LaSalle. He goes to LaSalle, and I'm driving into the key. I pick him up at 2:30. Driving into the key around 2:40, and we're coming downtown Crandon by the tennis center, and I see this huge iguana right in the middle of the street, like he could have been. And so I see him long enough to think, wow, all the people are killing iguanas now and all that. I think that, and I ran right over him. No, I'm just kidding. I ran over him so that I didn't hit him. I went over him, and I looked in my rear view, and he was fine. And then we get up to the traffic that's coming into the key at that time, always. And a couple minutes later, I hear sirens behind me, lighting up. And, I managed to move the wrong way and back and forth. And finally, the cops go by me. I notice they're Metro cops. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So they get to Harbor. They make a right. Then I look up in the air, and there's a helicopter.
I could hear it.
And so I'm at the light there, and I was like, copters and cops, something's up. I sent you guys a text right at that moment.
Yeah.
I was at the stoplight when I sent it, okay? So, so then, while I'm at the light, another cop car comes, unmarked this time, flies, and this one goes straight down Crandon. And then I look again, and I see the helicopter, and I say to myself, damn, the helicopter, I'm like, Mati, that's right over the school. It's right over the school. So I thought, should we go and see on this way, on Harbor Drive, what's going on, or go this way? I was like, let's just go by the school. We're going to park our car over there anyway. And by the time that, you get to the next light, sure enough, the chats are lighting up, and there's an active shooter situation at the school.
What day was this? Thursday? Wednesday?
No, it wasn't even that. I think it
I was in Boston because I left
Wednesday.
These days have all blurred
I
together.
left Tuesday night.
It
So it
was-
had to be,
No.
I left Tuesday night to Boston,
hold
so it had
on,
to be
I can
Wednesday
check
or Thursday.
Real quick.
So
I
while
can-
Rafa's looking that up, then all of a sudden people start saying somebody was shooting a pellet gun, shooting iguanas with a pellet gun, and I think maybe a patrol or crossing guard or something reported it, and we later find out that. Well, you'll hear what happened here.
It was Thursday, actually.
Thank you. I was wondering what day it was.
Okay, so somebody called it in. I'm not sure. Look, that's one thing that's missing from all the
I heard
the
it was
news
the patrol
reports.
guard.
Really?
Yeah, which would make sense because that's up there. That's on the perimeter of the school,
Right.
which is where they saw it. And the other thing was that this was right at pickup time, or like
man.
about 20 minutes before pickup time. And what you may not have known, and I didn't know this until some kid told me yesterday on the beach. We were talking on the beach, and my friend's daughter told me they had an active shooter drill earlier that day.
No.
Yes, they take them. They bring
That's
them.
good.
Was it their first one or no? Do you know?
I asked her to describe it to me because
I've never done one.
My kids had never been in
We
one.
never had to do that.
So they take them, they get them all together, they bring them to the library, then they bring them to a stairwell, and they wait for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
Did you
So
ask her how she felt about that? I'm so
I-
concerned about how
Yeah,
the kids
man.
like
Absolutely.
going through drills
We
because
didn't
that's
have
like
any of that.
completely mind-boggling to me. That's the last thing you were thinking when you were a kid.
Ever. I mean, we never did that.
No, that wasn't a thing.
It was like fire drill. Okay.
yeah, fire drill. Yeah, exactly. It was like a.
So it turns out that somebody was out killing iguanas because they're a nuisance. We know about that. There's a whole...
And people are encouraged to get rid of them
and
nowadays.
that person had a pellet gun, which looks like a rifle to me.
Yeah.
Right?
So
And-
it's a BB gun, right?
Yeah, and
That's
they
what
were
it is.
out there doing that at that time. So luckily, the response was great. The Key Biscayne cops were there. Chief Press gave a sort of a... Did you see his little video?
I didn't.
He gave a video, but he never really talked about exactly what it was that happened. He just talked about the reaction, how the police force responded, which
Yeah.
was awesome. They brought Metro Dade from Doral. He mentions all that. But as I reflected upon it, because people have different, what do you do? Is it overkill? Is it too much? Is it...
No.
And
There's no
we live
overkill.
in a world of, it's real simple. It's really simple. It comes down to one simple sentence. We see it whether we're in an airport, at a concert, on a trip, at a sporting event, whatever. You know what that sentence is?
What?
See something, say something.
Of course.
That's it. It comes down to that, Rafa. That's what our society is now. I see a guy with a pellet gun.
But do we like it or?
Okay, well, no.
Well,
of
you know
course
what?
not. You like taking
You're like dying.
You like
Rafa.
taking your shoes off at TSA every time? Or?
So
Rafa, we're living in a
that's-
different
that's
world
theater.
than when Manny and I grew up, even though we're not that old. It's different than even you growing up with you and my daughter. It's totally different.
I'm Columbine times. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's different. It's a
That
different
was
world we
one.
live in. And you know
That
what?
was one.
So wait,
when it was
wait.
crazy.
If you
This is
see
what I'll
something
say. This is-
suspicious and weird, yeah, you see a guy with a freaking rifle,
so wait,
you
what
call it
happened?
in.
So what happened to the guy?
Wait, stop. I will say this. I had a good discussion with about this with a friend of the show, G-Man.
I love G-Man.
Yeah, yesterday. And one of the things he says is that he was like, well, you can't blame the cops. And I agree with him because
course.
they get a phone call that just says, there's a guy with a gun.
Yeah.
By the school. So
Exactly.
Of course,
A rifle.
that's what they're going to do, right?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know, I can't make a good, I can't talk about it right now in the sense without knowing exactly who the person who called it in was thinking. Was this guy just crawling around looking in his bushes with the gun? Or was he, you know what I mean? It's because this is one thing that came out in the news. Tim Gamwell, who lives at the house with the tree stump that has the faces.
The face with the different decorations. Yeah.
He saw that guy doing the same thing a couple days before,
And
but
he
he
didn't call
didn't
it in.
he didn't find
Freak
a
out,
cause.
call it in.
He
He
didn't
assessed
freak out.
the
and-
situation.
He assessed it, whatever. And so that's you know what I mean. It's that kind of paranoia from everybody that it's just a little
Hype.
sad, and it's sad
You know
for
what?
everybody involved a
But
little
you know,
bit.
I mean,
I get you.
I agree that I wonder if I were there, if I would assess it or not, or if I would see that and be like, shit, there are kids nearby. I need to call someone.
See something,
'Cause,
say something. That's
because
all.
the
That's,
reality is, man.
Can you say something to the guy? I don't know.
Well, you
What,
also,
to get shot?
by the way, you
This
also
is
don't.
also a week after someone got shot in Rickenbacker.
Yeah,
so,
and you don't want to be
you
the
know,
one to
it's
be like, shit, I should have said something and you didn't. You know what I mean? We're in a time of age you can't be like, you see something weird and a shock, you do it. Who
I mean,
cares?
also, listen,
say it.
if you're a neighbor, the tree stump guy probably also knows that's my neighbor.
yeah.
the whole thing
I
was
see him,
diffused, completely diffused before the actual release of school time. It started at about 2:30, 2:40, and it was over by by dismissal at 3:05.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Man, I hate the hype, but we're reading about shootings every day, man.
I don't know, but
You know
look,
what I mean?
look.
You know what? It's almost like you can't take chances anymore.
No.
But
Yeah.
do you think that's because everybody's very informed? I kind of wonder because
Yeah.
in the 70s and 80s,
Didn't happen like this.
hijackings of airplanes was super. It happened all the time for hijackings and stuff
In the
like
70s
that.
70s
people
and
weren't,
80s.
be something, say something. They didn't do anything
Because
it was
in
just
70s and
whatever.
80s, people weren't able to get automatic weapons at your disposal. It's a different fucking
Yeah, they
world right now.
could.
No.
Couldn't they?
No.
They could.
No, they couldn't.
The assault weapons ban was in '94, and it only lasted 5 years. Of course, they could. They could do everything. And there was
know.
more
We'll have
per
to-
thing.
we'll have
But
to
what happened is that
research
people
team.
didn't hear
Research
about
team.
it.
I need to research that because I don't
People
know
didn't hear about it as much. There wasn't all this
No, but man, no. The mass shootings. There's no way that this was happening then. This
No,
is a
the
new
mass
thing.
shootings wasn't.
This is a new thing.
No, that wasn't.
Yeah.
But there was way more crime. There was way more deaths per capita.
Well, in the
look
80s.
it up. Look it up. Miami-Dade had because I was talking about this on my other.
the most dangerous city in the United States. Of
That's
course.
'cause of
And people didn't
drugs.
freak out.
'Cause of
People didn't
drugs.
freak out in
People
the
were
same
probably
way.
freaking
You know?
out.
No,
I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know.
What the big difference is the technology.
Yeah,
and the
definitely.
instant communication.
Yeah,
So
mass-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the big. You can't. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare.
Yeah,
it. It's
I
the reality
agree.
of the world that we live in, and it's the one that we have to subscribe to.
It's a shame that it's only it's here. You know, it's here. You go to
What,
other
the
countries.
US?
That's not a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing.
The gun culture is a different one.
Yeah, but even the security culture, because you go through airports and other places, they're just it's just not the same. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to do all this crap. All that stuff is a moral panic by the populace.
Maybe there will be a TSA pre-check kind of thing for gun.
Here's
guns going
crazy
forward.
about TSA pre-check. I got to go through TSA pre-check even though I'm not pre-check because my mom had gotten the ticket, and I thought to myself, "Wow, I could take anything. I could smuggle anything I wanted in my pants or
Careful what
whatever,
you
any
say.
of these liquids or whatever.
Rafa,
All of that's
how do you spell
theater.
your last name?
It's all theater, man.
Just kidding.
It's all, but it does. People
I
are
get it.
very anxious.
Okay, but if another country, what happened to this country with the plane getting hijacked? If that happened in another country, I bet you they'd have to pre-check or screenings and all this stuff. What happened in this country was, I mean,
But it happens in
on.
every country. It happened in Spain. That like, okay, that's another. Like, we
yeah,
can be
they're
here all
going
fucking
very far,
day.
but I don't know if the
guy
paranoia.
was shooting
There's been,
iguana.
like,
Point is, guy was shooting
terrorist
But I
iguana.
can tell
bombings.
you
Did he get like a reprimand? Like,
with the technology, I can tell you that everywhere people are more paranoid, even in places that were less paranoid.
sure.
But I don't know. I do think sometimes it's overkill on the see something, say something, and it kind of leads to a lot of false alarms. And how many false alarms is
I'd
worth
rather have
it?
a false alarm
Yeah, but let me
and
let me
catch
ask you
someone who's
something.
not going to really fuck things up. That's sorry, another bad word. I didn't say that word. That was Manny.
That's what you say, but like, think of the damn kids.
Manny,
in
I'm
the
sorry,
school.
Manny.
That
Think
are
of-
freaking out. I
Yeah,
agree.
think of the
I
kids
agree
in the
with that,
school who
that
are freaking out, who have to be
from-
traumatized all the
Yeah.
time because they're all going to die all the
I
time.
agree with that. By
You're
the
all
way,
gonna die.
that's doing
You're all
damage.
gonna die. You're all gonna die. It's like.
By the way,
you know?
my parents, Manny's parents, they all lived through the what do you call it? The Russian. What do you call it? When they had like they
The missile crisis?
Yes,
Civil
missile
War?
crisis. Civil War. Missile crisis, and they were like they would do like the things like
Yeah.
you're hiding
Drills,
under the desk. It's the
underground
same
drills, yeah.
thing. But ours is this. It's close. It's the same thing. You know what?
I think
Life
people
is
are,
scary.
but I think people are a little more
Here's
crazy
just,
about it now.
Just to give, just to wrap it up here. It happened in our own backyard. So we are affected by it, no matter how insulated we feel.
Yeah.
It happened in our own backyard. Obviously, it wasn't, a tragic thing, thank God. But the fact that it can happen in our own backyard, and we know that.
Of course, I can.
You
Yeah.
gotta be diligent.
That's-
Forget about it.
Would you guys blame the guy?
No.
What with the iguanas?
Yeah, I'll say is that FWC.
He didn't get in trouble, did he?
There was I don't know.
I mean,
think he
if
got
you
arrested.
live near a
The-
school, why are you using a gun? with
It's a
pellets?
BB gun. It's
Still,
fun.
but if you should know, if you live near a school, like be a little bit more, a little bit more conscious
In
of the
his-
fact that it looks wrong.
In his
No?
ignorant defense, I will say that there's been a bunch of articles talking about shooting iguanas with BB guns and the FWC talking about it, right?
And I think that brings up another point. We may pivot off of this. The next day, the green chat was lighting up on the iguana.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
You can eat it, cook it up.
It comes. You think a pellet gun? What's that going to do to an iguana other than like dig
Make it
up and
suffer.
Make it suffer. Like you're not going to kill an iguana with a pellet gun
I agree.
unless you have a dead aim shot.
yeah,
and you
right
get-
to that.
Yeah,
In
So if you
between
hit it
the eyes.
body,
in
it's not
between
gonna
the
kill
eye
it.
shot.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of humane kind of
I agree with that too.
termination. It spawned another chat. It spawned an iguana chat. So I
It
don't know
did.
if you
This
guys
guy.
noticed
Is
that.
there an iguana
So,
chat? No.
There is.
Wait. Are you being real?
There
or is it
is.
I
sarcasm?
swear to God.
No,
I'm
there
not
is-
on it. I'm not on it.
I'm not on the
There's
iguana
an
chat.
iguana chat.
But yes, there is.
But
now.
there's some people who are like, which I kind of get, like if you're gonna
We're not
get
gonna
rid of the
judge
animals.
people.
I
Lenny,
agree.
We're not gonna judge
No.
people. We're just saying
No,
that.
I'll
but
judge.
but
That's
there's
why.
no,
You
but
don't need to
there's
shoot
what they're
iguanas with a
saying
BB gun.
is
I'll
like
judge.
kill him kindly, and then there's like then people start putting like if you're gonna kill him, at least eat him.
All right, before
And then-
Hunting iguanas.
I will
and then
say
there's
last word
recipes.
because I'm the host is that when you are
I like it.
when you're 15 feet away and you have an air rifle and the sights are fine, you'll hit him in the head.
That's right.
You'll hit him in the head. If you've ever shot one of those things, you'll hit him in the head just like
BB
you hit a
gun.
bullseye. You'll do it.
I
Anyway,
was shot in my butt from a BB gun
Moving
from my old
on.
boyfriend. FYI.
there was a little
Side
there
note.
was a little thing going on,
Side note.
and it kind of gets into me getting riled up again.
Uh-oh.
The car stolen on Mashta. Did you guys see this? So
I saw
last
the video.
week,
I saw the whole
I think it was
video.
August 26th. A video comes out from a homeowner's security camera of some guys coming in to they like jump a fence and steal a BMW out of the
Well, they
thing.
jump a fence like 3 times,
And they somehow open the gate,
and their
too.
pants are falling down, and they came back, and they went
Wait,
back.
I missed
describe-
this.
Describe the fence. It's not just a fence. It's a high-end security wall with a slide.
Oh,
with
it's
the,
not
with the
high-end.
gate. It has a
Yeah.
gate. Yeah, a moving gate.
on Mashta, so it's
Yeah,
Fancy.
unmatched that. They go into the house. They take a BMW that's parking there, and they drive it out. And all this
No, the
stuff.
guy did like a 10-point turn.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the other thing. It's
I
on
think it was
video.
they had the keys. Was it an inside job? That was so fishy for me.
How
Like
they
what?
opened the gate?
No,
So-
they opened the gate because they got close enough. When you get close enough, the gate
missed
opens.
all of it.
Oh, you're right. From the
Yeah,
inside.
when you're from the inside, that's
Duh.
how that opens. But the problem was, instead of just backing up, the guy did like a 20-point turn in the middle of the lawn, and no one woke up. I mean, honestly, that guy not getting busted is un milagro.
No, he took the
Hilarious.
Beamer and he left like the Bentley and the Ferrari.
That's
So
hilarious.
there's a lot of funny things about this story.
I feel like he had the
first of all,
key.
they are on the street and kind of scoping the car
Right.
for a little bit on the video. And then the dog walker.
No, wait. 2:30 in the morning, dog walker.
There's somebody walking their dog at 2:30 in the morning, and they're
They take
away
off.
from the gate when this happens. So
Right.
the dog walker doesn't suspect anything. They're just like somebody driving through or whatever. They come back. They jump. One of the guys jumps the gate. He gets into the car, and then he drives off, and then that's it, right?
Wait. No, he does a 10-point turn and
Oh,
then
yeah,
drives
he does
off.
the 10-point turn,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what
he
he did, a
drives off.
10-point turn in a tight driveway.
Yeah.
And instead of just backing out.
Somehow
You know,
he
you're
knew how to get out.
So,
Not in a rush.
so a couple things happened after this. Did you guys hear about this stuff?
They caught the guys, I hear.
Yes, they caught the
Okay.
guys.
No, I haven't heard anything other than after I saw him drive out. That's all I know.
No, I heard that
Okay.
they got caught.
So
Take me
they
through
they
it.
got caught. So a couple things that happened after this. At the council meeting, which happened like immediately after this, one of the residents complained. The resident complained about it and was like, "What's going on? Why is like this happening? You know, the police, blah blah blah." And then council member Luis Loreto, he was basically, how can I say this? He was really going at it. It's fine. Going at it against against Chief Press about like what's going on, you know, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Okay, so
Kind of calling out the Key Biscayne cops. a
yes,
little bit.
calling out the Key Biscayne cops, and so
What do you have to say about this?
so there's a couple things to say. In the Key News article, this is the only place it's said, but I mean it wasn't in the Islander article. Number one is that the person's keys were in the car.
Okay. That's what happened? Because I thought it looked really easy.
I thought they did because these new cars you can kind of steal the key fob from the outside. If
Right.
it's close to the door, you can get
Oh.
the electronic key
Okay.
and snoop it. You know
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
That's
you guys didn't
interesting.
know that? That's why
No.
all these cars are getting jacked from the
Because
key.
you just
Because-
tape it. Or
Yes,
you,
exactly.
You
So
record.
if you get close enough to the front door
You can
and
record
their
it?
keys are there, you sniff out the same way the
Oh,
car
wow.
does. You sniff out the radio signal,
Wow.
and then you can go start the car.
That's
No.
Amazing.
Yes,
That's
that's
so
why these cars are
smart.
so vulnerable.
From
okay?
houses, not from apartment buildings, because you're 5 floors up. And
So
you can't-
don't
Exactly.
leave your pro tip number one.
Don't leave your electronic key right next to the door.
the front
Even
door.
behind a closed front door.
Okay, but this
Yeah.
guy left him in the car.
Huh?
in the car.
The guy left it in the car.
The key.
It said it was left in the car, but that seems fishy to me because these guys knew already the car they wanted, and then it was open.
Maybe it's an inside job. Someone was
That's
doing
weird.
something. It looked like an inside job.
I don't know. Then the second thing that came out
What?
was during the thing, which it's like the racism part. So these guys were black, and so the first thing that was like a little hokey, but it's not really complete. It's not like racist, but it's racist, but it's not. Is that
Sounds racist. All right.
the homeowner was like these colored guys, guys that you got to stop these colored guys.
People need to get on it with.
And then Loretto was like, we got to start profiling. So he said profiling, he didn't say racial profiling, he said profiling. And to me, that was like, man, like the other guys who stole the cars were not black. You know what I mean? It's just
Right,
like,
right,
you
right.
just got this time.
So what are they saying? Like anyone coming into the key who's
Yeah.
like
Everything kind of failed that night, too, because the license
Okay.
plate reader wasn't working that night that they have on Mashta Island.
Right.
That
that's
wasn't,
right,
That
they
wasn't
have
working.
they paid
that.
$1 million for that
Yeah.
new thing.
I forgot they have that.
And then Councilmember Loreto also berated Chief Press for not chasing the guy because it's department policy not to go on chases because they result in people dying.
did they know that they were they able
they
to be
apparently
chased?
identified the guys on the way out, so that's already
Oh.
good policing. You already
Oh,
found
wow.
the guy.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
wow.
So they put out a bolo, like, be on the lookout for this guy.
Did they block the exit?
No, they don't do that. That's a weird thing that you can't just call Miami-Dade and be like, block the
Close
exits.
the toll.
you
Why
know?
not? It's one way in, one way out. Why
They don't-
not?
For some reason, they don't do that.
They should.
But either way, they caught the guys. Because they caught the guys because they knew they found them and they knew who they. Good policing.
But
Right.
but how did they catch the guys? Like, who tipped them off? Did the homeowner realize?
No. The key
Right?
cops saw them leaving.
But how did they know they had stolen a car?
They were going too fast.
Oh, so
They
they
didn't pull them over for a ticket?
They tried. They just sped off like too fast, and they don't engage in chases.
Oh.
Yeah,
Police
'cause they're on
departments
an
across
island.
the country stop doing that because
I know,
in a
because
lot
it
of cases it
hurts the
results
rest of
in
the people.
dead people for trying to get
Especially
a car
in a small
back.
community.
You know what I mean?
But at 2:30 in the morning, when no
you
one's
give
there.
So
chase
they
and then
pulled
you
them
just
over speeding on Harbor Drive.
no. They tried to pull them over. I'm not sure
They sped
exactly
off.
where.
Where'd they get caught,
And
is
they
the
sped
question.
off. They got caught the next day. No, they didn't get
Oh,
caught.
not even
Yeah.
that night.
But we caught him, and what's up? They're in jail.
Yeah, so it
the
was like
car
two
was
minors
returned.
and two like 18-year-olds. And then
How
another
dumb.
thing, Chief Press said there was part of he has either some intelligence or he suspects that it's part of some kind of ring that these kids get.
Inside job.
He didn't say inside job.
These
He
kids
said
get
more.
paid to
Yeah,
steal the cars.
it's not like they already get paid to steal a
There's
car.
a higher up guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
sitting there.
higher up guy.
They give them some zip codes.
Yes.
Be like, here's some zip codes
Wow.
that you want to
Yeah.
focus on.
Bring me these cars or whatever. Yeah,
Wow.
It's like prostitution.
it's like Gone in 60 Seconds. You ever see that movie?
Interesting.
Nick Cage. Anyway, long story
Angelina
short,
Jolie.
Anyway, don't leave your key in your car. Be extra. And the thing is, they had every light. I couldn't believe it when I looked at the video. Every light that you want to come on in your place, protecting your property, and the fence and the thing. They had everything, and they still stole the car. Like, to me, that was crazy.
That is crazy.
And they had cameras. They had the lights. They had the fence, and the car was still stolen.
yep,
That's
it's
crazy.
It's a very popular thing to do
Wow.
with these high-end
No,
cars.
it's-
When
It
I was
was-
a kid, it was
It was brazen.
steal bikes from the key.
No,
Oh, yeah.
It was
what?
famous for bikes.
I had
How many
my
years
bike.
is that? Is that? Can we play?
bike
Can we play the?
stolen.
Can we play the fifth now that you're not going to get
Yeah.
arrested now?
I had
Key
my
Colony,
bike
bike
stolen.
stealing, BMX bikes from 1981.
Literally touching the front door of a Mackle on Curtiswood. We were all inside. We had like a pile of bikes all next to the front door at like 4 p.m, and we had our bikes stolen. All of them. We were just inside, like hanging out
Yeah.
or something like that.
They would
That was-
steal if you didn't tie the front
By the way,
tire, lock the front tire, the seat post. They would take that too.
Ralph, how old were you? Because that might have been Manning his posse. Just saying.
No, those
Look
were-
at Manny's face.
Those were all on a boat on the Miami River.
Are you
remember
sure?
those boats? They were
No.
just
Totally.
piled with bikes.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't happen anymore. But...
Manny Riata and his friends had a little bike scheme going on at Key Colony. Were you living in Key Colony
Oh,
then?
really?
That's
No.
Lenny.
That was
You know how I
later.
feel about rumors.
You can't get arrested now, Manny. It's over now.
But
It's
what would you even
it's
do
a
with them?
statute of limitations,
I
right?
never stole any bikes, Lenny.
It was your friends.
Anyway,
Not my friends. Come on.
to round it off,
You were my friend, Lenny.
I was in boarding school.
Yeah, right.
we all do stupid shit as teenagers. Not a big deal.
Of course.
I mean, it still happens that the kids joyride the golf carts, and you get
Of
a
course.
text in the chats like, "Hey, has anybody seen my golf cart?" Oh yeah,
My
it's all
friend
the way
Paige is
down
like,
over
"Where's
there."
my golf cart?" I'm like, "Dude, who
Lenny,
knows?"
that's just because you forgot where you parked at that time.
No, that was
Come on.
me. This was Tom's fault. But Paige the other day was really stolen.
Sure, it was.
It
You would-
was.
You would think somebody would come up with the idea of putting in like a different key for these golf
Nah,
carts.
I
right?
did that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
did
fun. It's fun to like be able to take out someone else's golf cart.
I know that is
Okay.
fun.
As long as you give it back.
Yeah, or as long as you just leave it intact somewhere.
Of course. Just kidding. No, don't steal other. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. By the way, don't take other people's golf cart. It's not cool. Don't do it.
Anyway, with this carjacking thing, because of the electronic nature, it's kind of the key is always going to be a target. The cops are doing what they can, and at the same time, they busted the guys and they caught the last guys who did it too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they did.
The last guys who took them off, the same
the
thing
Range
happened.
Rovers?
They saw, yes, exactly. They saw the guys and they reported it up the thing. So please don't get too like alarmed and hyped up and all this stuff. I know it's a little freaky that these guys are coming in, but they see it as like an easy. It's almost like it's like just grabbing something. Like it's almost like a shoplifter, you know?
And listen, if you see something, say something.
Yeah, for sure. It's brazen.
Title of
It's
the
definitely
show.
brazen. I wouldn't. I agree. See something, say something.
I have a PSA, Rafa.
Sure.
As we know, we got lucky for the hurricane. Our neighbors
Thanks. We
in the
don't-
North Bahamas did not. And so I just saw a post. Mia Davey put something up. Mia
Go,
Davey,
Mia.
she's 10-year-old, another beach ambassador, coincidentally. Rafa, it was the anniversary of Beach Ambassador Day.
Yes,
which
it
I
was.
guess it's just Beach Ambassador Day going forward. August 28th, I didn't
I think
realize
Ralph is just jealous a little bit.
I
that's
think
all.
so.
KB for the
course.
Bahamas. At this, if you're looking for something to do, if you're looking for a way to help, I think everybody is.
Everyone.
Especially since we have, you all have a garage full of stuff that you may not need anymore.
Or
Please
even if you
join us in
don't.
supporting our neighbors and the whole community to support the Bahamas by going to the Square, Unit 38 at the Square. Everyone knows the Square, 260 Crandon Boulevard. Unit 38 at the Square. You can drop off items from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Awesome.
And
What are the
there's
items?
There's an empty unit there where Mia basically said, "Let's fill this thing." So,
Okay, so what are we dropping off? Because that's important.
at this time, we are only accepting the following items at this location. Only accepting canned food, non-perishable food, manual can openers, baby foods, diapers, formula, baby wipes, Aquaphor ointment, heavy-duty work gloves, batteries, flashlights, mosquito repellent, sunscreen, Clorox wipes, body wipes, and hand sanitizer. What's missing from this list?
Bottled water.
Bottled water is missing from this list. So before you show up with cases of bottled water,
They don't want it.
it's not on the list. So I'm
Okay.
not saying they don't want it, but it's not on the list. So,
Okay.
And then also no toys, no clothing, please. So you can make these tax-deductible donations. You can go to the Key Biscayne Community Foundation website, kbcf.org. KB for Bahamas, you'll find it there. Just check your socials or your chats or whatever.
Okay.
If you have some things, gloves are a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like anything to help
And all the diapers and
toiletries and
yeah, it's all on
everything,
here, so
wipes and body wipes. Okay.
thank you
All
for doing
right.
that.
Okay, let me tell you guys the last
Yes,
thing I got
thank
here
you.
before we are almost wrapping it up. Also, let me tell you what day it is. It's Monday, September 2nd, 2019. It's Labor Day. Hope you had the day off.
I think.
No One's Listening show episode
Yeah.
159.
No one's listening for sure.
Well, the
No
people
one's
at Winn Dixie
listening.
didn't have the day off. I'll tell you that. So the last thing I have written down here. Oh no, I have two more things, but only one I want to talk about. They banned fishing on the Mashta Bridge. They had done it before in the past, and they did it
Was
again.
this the second reading, so it's done now?
No, it's not the second reading. It was
Okay.
so. It's funny that as much as I put up and listen to this stuff, I still don't know really how it works. But it was a resolution, which is not really like a law. It's almost like we want to do this, which I think means that the cops just can go and tell people not to fish there anymore. But long story short, Master Bridge fishing has been a thing forever on the Key. For a little period of time, they banned it. Then a bunch of people were like, hey, you need to unban that. And now a bunch of people who
So
live
they
on
set up a
Mashta.
system where you can get a permit.
So then a bunch of people on Mashta, they set up a system so you can get a little permit.
Okay.
And
By permit, it's not like the fish permit. It's a license to fish.
yeah, a
Okay.
license to fish on Mashta Bridge. Everybody was doing that, but the Mashta residents were annoyed that there was fishing garbage around the thing.
They
Because
were also
of,
annoyed
of
that there
bad
were
fishermen.
professional fishermen.
Yes, that's what they said. Professional
Professional
fish.
fishermen.
Whatever
You know
that
what?
means, dude. It's like your typical.
By the way,
Guy-
that is public property. Mashta Island doesn't own the bridge, and that to me is BS.
Lenny, where were you the other night at the
Well,
council
I didn't
meeting?
know about this. Okay,
Did you sign the petition?
I haven't yet. I was out of town, and I will sign it because you know what? That's public property.
talked
and,
about it on this show
and this is
before.
our only place we can fish. There's nothing wrong if you get your permit
also-
and you
you
get
can-
your thing. There's nothing
I
wrong
agree.
with fishing there.
You can fish on the beach. That's not allowed, although people do it all the
Always
time.
right all the time.
And
In the morning,
and
early.
so residents and non-residents alike do it. And you can fish at Bill Bags, but that's not the village.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
So
Right. This is our community. This is our place. That's one place that our community and our kids or whoever wants to go fish there, if they have their permit, they can fish.
They have the reasons. The reasons are
I was
it's
going to ask,
dirty.
why are the residents
because
complaining?
There's garbage, because it's a safety issue. Kids
Safety to what?
Kids darting across the street while someone's driving over the bridge. That's an easy fix. Just put a big speed bump right in the middle of the bridge.
Okay.
Put a big speed bump in the middle of the bridge, which would be great.
Yeah.
Set the tone all the way around. People double park there to get out. People launch kayaks from there. People jump off the bridge.
It's a bridge. That's what happened.
Right. So some of those things, maybe they're not safe to do. It's not a swimming bridge. It's not meant for that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a fishing bridge? Yeah. I mean, I think it's a fishing bridge.
I
It's
do
always
too.
been.
Yeah. So
I think it's a fishing bridge. I think
it's really a bummer, especially when it's propaganda like professional fishermen.
Yeah, it's
lining up.
ridiculous.
So let me ask you, what could be done to
That's it. Let's
to
find
get
some
these people
ways.
to clean up? I guess the people who aren't cleaning up. Is
Well,
there
do they-
anything that can be done to
Let's-
help
do
Do they
these
have
idiots?
garbage? Do they have like the receptacles to put in the
They
hooks
do.
and
It's
stuff?
right
They
there.
have everything.
I mean, they don't even need that. They could just throw it in the garbage. But apparently,
Okay,
they
so-
How big of a problem is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't live
drive
there.
by there a lot, and I don't never. I mean, and
You know
I,
how you do it?
I've
You
never
change the
noticed the
culture
problem.
by
and I
the same way
walk
we
by
do
there a lot because I
Fillabag,
exercise
where you-
there.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see the mess. I don't.
I wonder, and this is kind of
Watch
off
your
topic,
words.
But
Watch your words.
do they have signage there that says anything about that stuff?
I don't know if we want too much signage. I'm sure it doesn't take too much, but if people talk about it, if there are bridge ambassadors, if there are people that want to fight for it and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go there and we'll talk about those
Right.
learning moments. Don't cross the street.
Don't throw your hooks in the ground. Don't.
Exactly. Get rid of the trash that you bring. You can't park there. Whatever it is, I'm sure that we can just be better.
I wish, I mean, that would be great. But just one sign that says, please throw away your garbage or else this...
You're going to get banned.
There's
You're
a
gonna get
fine or
banned
something.
from-
A fine.
We're going to get
I mean,
banned
does
from
this
fishing.
Or a
ban
fine or
equal
something.
people being more aware so that if it gets unbanned again?
I agree.
Right. How about if we put a poster there with pictures of people who've been banned for littering there?
I like that.
I like
We'll
that
put it
stuff.
at Winn-Dixie, too.
And some people need to be
like
told. It's like some people need to be told because maybe they're fishing off the Rickenbacker or something like that. The
Little-
Well, I mean,
the
I
old
was a little-
bridge. The old
I was a
bridge.
little hurt because the picture that came out on like whatever the stock picture is of somebody, a
Fishing?
Someone
professional
fishing?
fisherman fishing there.
Was it you?
No, it was Lucas, my son.
Oh my god.
That's huge. That's
Was it really?
Did you complain to someone? I
No,
would
you know
be
the
so
picture
pissed.
of there's a guy with white pants and a white
That
shirt.
was-
He's
no
leaning on.
way.
He's got a baseball cap
Yeah,
on
yeah.
backwards. He's got 4 rods leaning up there.
Yes, that's Lucas.
That's Lucas.
Oh my
way.
gosh.
Yeah.
He's so whack.
He's such a professional fisher.
He's a professional fisherman, I guess.
He's
I don't
selling
know.
it. He's selling it on the streets
That
of
is- no,
he's
Cayocho.
not. He's
I
not.
know he's not. That's a big
That is
sarcastic.
amazing. That's like
In
the
fact,
best.
Lucas is the one that's there telling people to
Wow.
clean it up,
Yeah.
clean it up. And I think we talked about it on the show one time. Lucas was there when some kids, some like those shit-eating 12-year-old Key Biscayne kids. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
They just became teens
the
and they
worst,
were like,
the worst age.
Yeah.
Those kids are there at the bridge one day, a group of them, and they start like throwing squid at each other.
Oh, wow.
Right? So squid hits like the fence and it sticks on it.
All right.
And they were killing fish that they shouldn't have been killing.
Oh.
It was wrong behavior, but it was no different from what they would do at CVS.
yeah, exactly.
Of course.
And so Lucas, he tried to use it as a teaching moment.
Right.
Dude, this would be so good for Lucas to show up at the council meeting and be like,
No, he could be
"That
the bridge
professional
ambassador."
fisherman is me, and I'm just a
He
key
could wear
rat
his
like
whites,
everybody else.
His
dude.
fishing whites.
And nobody's ever called me to
And he
pay
could-
me to fish.
And he could be the bridge ambassador, maybe.
That'd be awesome.
Truth is, the other night we went out to dinner and we were ordering fish. He's like, Lucas is like, man, now I can't really eat any fish I don't catch.
Oh my God!
Like, what
It's
are
a
you,
shame.
bro?
You know what? There's not many places on the Key that people or kids or adults or whatever that can go hang out, and to ban fishing there is bullshit.
It is.
I mean,
I'm not pleased. I think it's. I don't think that's a Key Biscayne way to be, and maybe there's
No.
other ways that we can deal with it.
So you guys remember that I used to rail on here about how I thought it was lame that like Key Biscayners were picking up their own dog's poop and stuff like that, and I felt like that's a job for like public works or something to
yes.
do this.
God, I
Yes.
don't think,
But
luckily,
wait.
I forgot that.
Is cleaning
Right?
up the,
Same.
hey,
Me too.
where are these license fees going for the fishing? You know what I mean? Can't we pay somebody to clean
To,
that
like,
shit up
or-
every?
No,
thing?
that's the nanny mentality, and we don't want that.
It's not nanny mentality. It's just we have street cleaning.
That's what they told us about the beach cleaning too.
Okay, but once or someone to at
Yeah.
least police it a little bit, like like drive by, like, hey, make sure
Hey, they
that
make
things
everything
are
else
right.
look nice. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing. Like if people are paying
What's so
license fees
difficult
and
about
stuff,
picking up your crab?
No,
I know,
you know
I
what?
don't
You know
say
what else?
don't. I still
is an
think
issue?
littering should be legal. Like so, if you're dropping the stuff and somebody sees you, that should be a fine.
Of
Get
course.
arrested.
But at the same time, public works should be out there and clean that shit.
What are we
too.
going to ban soccer from the Village Green? Have you been by there after a soccer
They-
Saturday
they-
or a practice day?
Exactly.
It's Gatorade bottles everywhere.
Is it really?
And somebody picks that up. You
That's
know?
sad.
But littering's still a fine, so it's not like you're encouraging littering because you're picking it up. Because if somebody gets caught doing it, you still, you take money from them to clean it up. But at the same time, we could just clean it up too. It's
Listen,
a nice
we're
thing.
the village is trying to get more parks and more parks and more parks, and we're trying to do like a place to launch kayaks and things. We can't, So
We didn't
if,
talk about that.
so if
I don't want to encourage anybody to litter.
So if it's
Don't get me
dirty,
wrong.
we're gonna ban that. Like we can't ban the fishing bridge.
Yeah.
forget it.
Lenny,
Get over it.
I got three
Get
words
over
for-
it.
I have 3 words for you, Lenny.
Yeah.
Change.org.
So funny that you mentioned getting more parks because one of the things is that they are moving forward on getting those 2 lots on Harbor.
They're moving
Yes.
forward on it?
571 and
Yes, they are.
599. They just got on a thing. They
Tuesday,
want
last
$4 million
Tuesday.
for both of them.
Too much.
Ed London was like, "That's too much," but they are going forward with it, and we'll discuss when it actually happens because it always seems to be like, "Oh, we're going forward," but it's not
I
happening.
used to live at 540.
I don't think it's. I don't.
It's on the other side.
Are you
Yeah, no,
sure it's
duh,
going
540.
forward?
It's going
How can
forward.
it be going forward if a price hasn't been determined yet?
At the last
It's
council
going
meeting,
forward.
they talked about it, and they told the manager and Simon to pursue it and get a better deal.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not going forward at 4 whatever million.
No.
No,
You agree
no.
with that?
It's good. No.
They have approval to keep negotiating and to
Yes.
go with it.
Okay.
They
Meaning
want-
going forward that they
they're
want it.
Unless the
interested-
sellers
That they
don't-
want it,
don't-
yes.
Unless the sellers say, nah.
Yeah, that too. But the sellers,
I think it looks good for everybody and everybody's thing. Honestly, that's what I hear.
All right, we'll see.
okay. Anyway, that's the news.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
We're done. This
But,
is Hurricane
go
Hurricane
to-
Doreen. Then we're done. That's
Oh, the
it?
hurricane. Do you guys want to talk about that?
We good?
We already said it. It's kind of moving.
We don't know.
I think the hurricane story is it was the flashbacks to Irma, which
Yeah.
is still fresh on people's mind.
Yeah.
Most people had deep regrets for not leaving during Irma or to going to the wrong places.
Okay.
Or actually,
Right.
for leaving Irma.
And
leaving
going to the
Key,
wrong place.
Or going to the wrong
Yeah.
places.
I was going to say for leaving because
Yeah,
we
for
stayed and
leaving.
I don't regret
What's going on,
it.
Yeah,
Rafa?
yeah.
Rafa's looking now.
No, this is the 5 p.m. report, so nothing's happened
Okay.
yet, but it's still on track to
It's
go
still
north.
standing still right over fucking.
Exactly.
I feel so bad. Freeport.
So people were going to leave for this one.
Yeah, people
they
were-
ready to go. They were booking the rooms, although they didn't go as early this time.
Yeah.
They realized that with Irma, they jumped the gun too quick. With Irma, they could have waited until Friday
Right.
and then made the call at that time.
Listen,
they
I
left
wasn't-
on Wednesday instead. This time, since this thing went so slow, it gave them
Time to
breathing
think.
room, and people took advantage of that and then didn't leave. Even though this morning, as of today,
We weren't sure if it was going to beeline right into us. Yeah.
no.
I
We
listen.
weren't
I
really
came here
sure.
on Saturday night knowing it wasn't coming.
Guys,
I know.
we don't know how many hurricanes have we seen that flip
Well, Andrew-
last minute. Screw
Andrew
the
did it.
cone. It's just like
Okay, I
things
guess so. I
change.
guess
Wait,
so.
I will say that Friday
Oh,
night,
right.
I remember going out Friday night when we were out, and there was still the tension of where is it going?
Yes.
Right?
And then 11 o'clock advisory is when I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
I was in Boston. I said, fine, I'm coming in Saturday night.
The
I
11
came
o'clock-
on
Since
Saturday
it
night.
went slower,
Yeah.
people didn't have to move right away.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the last one was a Category 5 with the track straight into us.
To Miami.
up Crandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like straight
Right
into
up
us.
Crandon
Not
Boulevard.
kind. Yeah, exactly. So it was a little different
That's
in that
true.
sense.
Yeah.
You know, it was
That's
like
true.
No,
Miami did.
but it took time. Once it passed us, it hadn't turned up yet.
Yeah.
And so it was going to be,
At the end of the day,
Not bad.
we're very fortunate that nothing's hitting us right
Oh
now
my
because
God,
I don't
so
know
lucky.
if Bearcut Bridge would have held
Ugh.
a Cat 5.
Yeah, no way.
Honestly, with what's going on, that to me is our biggest priority in Key Biscayne right now is that bridge. We need to make sure
that's
that's
the 20-foot seas.
Would-
it would
Destroy
never.
it.
That bridge would never have survived a Cat 5 like it is doing right now to Freeport and what it did to Marsh Harbor. So that's our biggest priority here
Yeah.
in Key Biscayne, with a lot of other things, but that's one of them. That's a huge that we need to focus on. My opinion.
I wonder what they would do if that happened. And like
No, we
how
need
long
ferries
till-
or something.
Yeah, ferries.
Ferries.
Or,
Something.
No,
we need,
no,
we
they
need
would
Plan
do
B.
the Army Corps would
yeah,
build
would come in
something.
and build something.
Like
right?
a quick
Temporary.
Yeah,
temporary
temporary
thing.
thing.
one-lane thing.
It's important. Very important. Anyway, with that said,
All right,
here
what
we
do we
are.
have for the calendar here tonight?
Well, wait, point is, it hasn't hit Florida yet.
No, it's still sitting there. It's just hanging right
so we
there.
don't know where it's going to hit.
You know,
In my opinion.
Oh man.
we'll see the 11 o'clock advisory and see what happens.
No,
Okay.
no school tomorrow, guys.
No.
That's for real.
But there's work tomorrow, so that's not. That's for real.
No, oh, wait, for who? You, Rafa? Like you're a
for me and
retired
for
dude.
you.
Retired
So
dude.
you're considering work tomorrow?
I'm not working.
Considering work today and work tomorrow. Okay, calendar. What do you guys got?
We have the haunted hike coming up on October 18th and 19th. It's still a little early, but I'm going to actively begin recruiting. Lenny, you're in for that, right? You guys are in for that?
I already told you that already. Yes,
All right.
of course.
For both nights, right?
Yes. Tom Weber. Yes, yes.
All
He
right.
says yes.
Okay.
Haunted hike at the Billbag State
I
Park.
heard that Davina's party is on October. They moved it to October 19th.
I have no
now.
idea who you're talking about. Like
Okay.
I know Davina, but what party?
Look, no party gets going until like 11 o'clock. Anyway,
Davina's
so-
party? What party?
Her birthday party.
Oh no, what is she?
A
He's doing
surprise
that.
party.
Oh well,
her.
thanks for the surprise. I don't even know about it. Thanks. I had no idea.
Davina's
Okay.
a listener, but she's not listening tonight. I don't
Davina,
think.
there's a surprise party I don't know about. Let me know.
We'll come after Davina. We'll come
Anyway,
after.
that is an event where
October 18th and 19th.
Yes.
Haunted hike. We're looking for teams that want to, create spooky spots. We'll keep talking about it.
It's all in Billbag State Park,
Save the date.
and it.
I have
nice little
another save the
Halloween
date.
event.
I do too.
December 13th, Friday the 13th.
Wait, you're going so far.
Yeah, December.
Friday the
I got
13th.
something. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Friday the 13th, December.
scary.
The 1-year anniversary holiday party for Philibag. We're going to do a big party at the beach club. It's going to be awesome. It's a Friday night,
I can't think that far ahead, but
And the
thank you.
13th.
December
Night.
13th.
Yeah, put on the calendar and the thing, Rafa. so I
Save the
can-
date.
Save the date.
All right.
But way before December 14th is September 14th.
December 13th, Lenny.
Okay, whatever. September 14th at the Yacht Club is it's called the Seabells Soiree. But they have the amazing band, which is Gara's Groove. Have you ever heard them before?
no.
Oh my God, they're so good. I've heard them in the Ritz in Coconut Grove. They're awesome. It's going to be a great party, honestly.
Describe them, Lenny. What kind of music do they
Oh,
have?
they play everything from like Cuban, like old school to what's the girl?
They're like a Cuban funk hip hop cover band.
no. What's the woman who died with the hair? Who was
Celia?
no, coño, the London lady who's young. Oh my gosh,
Winehouse
London.
Amy.
Winehouse.
Yes, Amy
Oh, my
Winehouse.
Lord.
She sings Amy Winehouse. She's awesome. It's called Gara's Groove. It's awesome.
That's
Gotta go
hilarious.
September 14th. Reserve because it's fun. It's gonna be a great time.
Cool.
Do it.
All
Do
right.
it. Do it. And it's
Well-
open to the public. Pay with a credit card, by the way. With a member. Come with a member.
I'll come with Johnny. No problem.
Yeah, well, you can, or with me.
Johnny's got to hit his quota. How much is that ticket, Lenny?
He hits his quota on the second of the month.
Oh, well, who doesn't? Welcome to the Yacht Club.
On that note, that's all we got for you today. Thank you for listening. Make sure you share the show with all your friends and tell them how to find it and all the stuff. And thanks again for listening. Stay safe out there. Tune into that 11 p.m. Report from the NHC. Don't get your hurricane stuff from anywhere else because they make it look a lot bigger than it is.
And make sure to go donate stuff to the Bahamas at the Square, Suite 38. Yeah.
Please do that.
It makes it so much easier when
Oh
someone
man,
puts a
you
space-
guys, please.
Yeah.
And,
So like, guys, it's there. Do it. It's so easy to go drop something off.
yeah,
It's,
and don't drop off a bunch of crap.
Okay.
drop off what they-
Just
yeah, the list.
be aware of
Stick
what
to
you're
the
dropping
list.
off.
Perfect. That's the show. Stay tuned for the jingle from Pablo, who it really worked out, that jingle.
Jingle
Yes,
jangle.
we love you, Pablo. Thank you,
Okay, good night, guys.
Good
Say
night.
good night,
Manny. You like that frita?
Thanks, Lenny.
Good night.
Yeah. No one's listening show.